remember when we were growing up in the 70s or even the 60s, even though I'm a product of the 70s, when you hear somebody going to a foreign country, it's like they were going to heaven. When you hear somebody is going to Canada and America, it's like, wow, England. Those days at the airport, we would go up on the waving gallery and you would see your family member or your neighbor or your friend walking to the plane step, and they would stop at the step and wave before getting into the plane. As you watch these videos, please like, share with friends and families, and if you are not yet a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe and touch that notification bell so you will be notified when I upload another video. Enjoy. I remember in the 70s, about 1976, my cousins, they were going to their mother in Canada, Christine and Angela, and there was a man called Sil. He owned a bus, a little highest bus like, and my grandmother, she built 2 dresses for my cousins. That's my mother, not my grandmother that raised me, even though I grew up between both grandmothers, because I was living with my father, mother growing up, but my mother was just across the lane over at their yard, so we used to go to and from. So my mother, she was the one who was raising my cousins, and she made 2 dresses because she was a dressmaker for my 2 cousins. Floral dress, I can remember it like it was yesterday. And we went to the airport, and they had checked in, and we went up to the waving gallery. Up by the waving gallery at Norman Manley Airport, there was a snack shop, a long counter across at the back, and there was a wire fencing that you can stand up, and there was a short fence that you would stand up by, but there was another tall wire fencing, and you could see the hairline out there on the tarmac. And I remember when my cousins, they went to the step and they were waving, and they went to Canada. They are still in Canada today, living in Canada. Yeah, and at the time my mother and my father was living in Canada. So me and my brothers and sisters were like barrel children. Because you remember back then in the 70s and 80s and 60s, when Jamaicans migrate overseas, they leave their children with their grandparents, and some would send barrel. My father used to send barrel to my house. Yeah, and my mother used to send barrel to her mother's house also. But those days were so nice, trust me. And I remember that evening, I think it was a Thursday, if I'm remembering good, because I was a little boy, I was a child, and the stars in the sky at the airport was plenty. I've never seen that sky again. It was so beautiful just to look in the sky and all the stars gathering close to each other. And I remember when the plane, we was on the gallery until the plane lifted in the sky and took off, and we had snack, because my grandfather used to sell snow cone, sky juice, and Mr. Syrup. He is one of them original sky juice man. Mr. Syrup, Boloby, and Tiny Pooh. And Mr. Hyra used to have a thing that he used and share the ice. And he sell the snow cone, the ice and the syrup. But my grandfather and the rest of the guys, they sell sky juice in the bag. So my grandma, she always have money, and she bought a snack. I think I got a biscuit and a small box drinks, and it was just nice growing up. And when you hear that somebody died, it would be like, oh my God. And when you go to a funeral and you look at the dead, when you go in your bed at night, you would see that person. Sometimes you toss and turn because you can't sleep. But Norman Manley Airport and the gallery, that's the main thing I'm talking about. But I just had these little stuff in, because when we were growing up, it was different in our time. It was so different. But I think after 9/11, that's when they remove all the galleries from the airport and they go right across the board internationally and they remove all the galleries. I miss the gallery. I wish my sons and my daughter and my grandchildren could see those days. But those were the olden days, and you know, things on time is gonna change, and it's gonna change again because Earth keep on recycling and changes. A lot of people don't like changes, but changes is a must. But I enjoy those days because that evening wasn't the first time I went there on the gallery. My mother was leaving back to Canada. She came back 1977 and she leave late 1978 to 79. She left again for Canada. And when she was leaving, we went to the airport again. And I saw her when she reached right by the plane steps. She turned and she waved. And we waved back, waving back. And then she go up the step, and after the plane door closed, the step has been driven away because you know the step is connected to a motor vehicle, a little motor vehicle. Yeah, those days were beautiful. Those days were nice. And you never hear people killing people left, right, and center and all of that. But you know, things and time has been changed. I know a lot of people can relate to the waving gallery when we were growing up, 70s, 80s. I think the waving gallery was there up to 2001. I think after 9/11, that's when it changed. You can tell me in the comment section if you know more about when the waving gallery were removed. But I think it was removed in 2001 after 9/11. This is Mr. Lowe. Please subscribe, leave a comment, like, and share these videos so that these stories can be shared to your friends and your families. Blessed love. Out.